Hi friends, I'm back for another video and a list for 2025. Now I did say I was done making lists, however now I'm watching other people's Bookmas videos and they are a little bit bigger creators than me, so they make their own list and now I want to participate because that is what it is. I love to participate in everyone's challenges, which is why I am such a readathon girly for that very reason, because I get to participate with everyone. So this one is 25 and 25, hosted free from For Positive Book. I'll be sure to link her below. But here is the bingo board that she created, 25 and 25. I'll attach it here. And be sure to check out her video when she gives you like more information. But I'm going to tell you the books that I think fit it, and then we'll go each line by line. So the first line, as you saw on the graphic, was, and again, these are subject to change. I really want to do a video at the midway and the end of the year where I kind of assess like what is happening in all of these. But the first is a 2025 release, and I am going to pick books that like I do have physical copies of if I can. And most of these are gonna be in 2025 unless I like have an issue and I can't find one. Like one on this row I just can't find right now. So you can give me a recommendation below, but A Fable at the End of the World by Ava Reid is the one that I'm going to put on it, just because I fought tooth and nail to get the arc of this at YALLFest, so I really do want to read it. And it is a post-apocalyptic story, a high-stakes fight for survival for fans of The Last of Us, The Ballad of Songbird and 8 Snakes, it's an enemies to lovers sapphic romance. So yeah, and I really did like A Study in Drowning, so I really hope that I like this one. And the next book is a book with a one-word title, which did not come out in 2025, but it is a book I didn't read, so I'm going to do Songlight by Maura Buffin, which is star-crossed lovers against all odds, a brutally unforgiving world. Make this first in a trilogy utterly unforgettable. So, yeah, so this is the one I'm going to put on there. If it doesn't get read, it's okay, but it is a one-word title. And the next one is a book that involves travel. This one might get changed, but I decided I'm going to put on X Marks the Spot by Gloria Chow because it is a like a treasure hunt novel, so like I assume they have to travel to like kind of adventure. It comes out in January, so it's an early release and I really do want to read it, but this one I think will be perfect, especially because it is a contemporary and has to do with travel because they are on like a scavenger hunt. The next one in the line is Number and Title, but I couldn't find anything coming out in 2025 yet that like I wanted to read, so I may just wait until like 2025 happens and see if something pops or if anyone's lists say something. And then the last one is in that row is a cover by, and I have to put this book on here. I just found out about it. It's coming out in UK in like January. It's called, so it's The Baby Dragon Cafe. I'll attach a photo here. I desperately want to read this book, so I really think I'm going to order it from Waterstone and have it come here early because it's not supposed to come out in the US until July, but I really want to read it and I don't even know what it's about, but it's a cozy fantasy with dragons. You had me at those two things. A dragon like shop. I'm really intrigued, so yeah. Now let's get into the next row. So the next line in the section, again, I'm going to do as many as I can, and I know this is probably going to change. So I decided to go in a different way than seasonal read, and I'm going to do a Valentine's Day read because it's early in the year and I want to get it over with. So I'm going to pick a romantasy, and I'm going to pick Love at Second Sight by F.T. Lukens. This comes out in April, but I will probably read it around February. But yeah, I'm really excited. I think I'm going to kind of do these challenges to kind of finish them earlier in the year, and I'm not going to kind of put books that are later, but again, it may get something else, but I'm going to put a romantasy on here because I want to enter my romantasy era in 2025. The next book is Read an LGBTQ plus book, and I'm going to read Brewed with Love by Shelley Page. This is a sapphic black love story about a character who runs her family's apothecary, and she doesn't like their latest hire, and things kind of go from there, and there's a mystery that they have to kind of solve together. And this comes out in January, so it's going to be an early read in 2025 or a late read in 2024. Favorite author's new book. I do not have a cover for this one, but it is going to be Lady Nights by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. It is coming out in July. I am going to read it. I love everything by this author's duo, and I cannot wait to see what they write next because it's been a bit of time. And then we have a hyped book, which I am going to add here. Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, because every book she writes is hyped, and I really have liked all her other books. I always get the audiobook, so I will attach that photo here. If you have not read it, I don't want to read the summary because I want to go in blind, but it's definitely on my immediate TBR, which is why it's here. And then the last book is about the color of the year. I'll be honest, the color of the year is brown, and I don't have a lot of books brown on my TBR because they're kind of ugly. So I'm gonna wait to see if any books pop that are brown, or when people are doing this challenge if they have a brown book, but I don't have a brown book. So yeah, there's not, and a lot of my arcs might change, so I don't want to like put something on here that like might, but hey, if you have a book that is that color, that brown, I would love to know. So link it below. Again, I'm asking you guys for advice here. Please comment, please give me advice, I would love it. And now let's get into row 3 on the graphic. Okay, so I'm back. I definitely have fewer options for the rest of the board, just because I'm honestly a mood reader, but I do like to make a list. So we're on the 3rd line, and we have to write a BIPOC author. So I'm going to do The Scorpion and the Night Blossom by Abigail Haywin. This is her debut into romantasy, and as I said, I want to be in my romantasy era, so I'm going to add this. And I'm really excited. I do want to read her other series, Song of Silver Flame Like Night, you know, and kind of tackle that a little bit, but I also really want to read this pretty edition. I got to meet her and I got this arc sign, so I'm really excited to dive into this one. And then I have a novella that I don't know. I'm probably going to do one of the Amazon originals because honestly, I don't really read a ton of novellas. Those are the only ones that like I listen to, because I will listen to novellas and a lot of times they aren't made into audiobooks. So I will probably pick one of the Amazon originals that are coming out in 2025. They normally do 3 collections that I at least read. I read the romance one around Valentine's Day, I do the mystery one around October, and then I do the holiday one around Christmas. So out of those 6 or 12, I'll probably pick one and I'll make that my thing, unless I pick like a novella that I read normally and just count it, but that's probably what that's going to be. And then I have a hyped book, which I am going, oh no, we're not a hyped book, we're at a 5-star read prediction, and I'm going to do All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles. This is her first official book with Sourcebooks Casablanca. I think that's who picked her up, and this is like a book back into the Tattered and Torn series. I'm really excited to dive into this one. It comes out in early January, and I really hope you will give her a shot. She writes great romantic suspense, and here is the photo of that book. And then the next one is a comped book title, which honestly can be anything, but I'm going to do Emily Weil's Compendium of Fairies that is coming out in early, I think February or March, but it was pitched to me as like, originally it was pitched to me as like Veronica Speedwell meets Holly Black, and I thought that was a really, really cool mashup, and I really want to get to it, so that one is going to be for a comped title. And then the next one is a friend rack, and I'm just going to let a friend pick a book for me. Probably one of my bookish friends. I've met some cool bookish friends this year that I want to include, so I might just call up a friend randomly one day and have her give me a rack, or I could do a BookTuber rack. I don't know. We'll see. 25 and 25 is also going to be in addition to all my BookTuber reading that I do, like inspired by their top reads of the year, so maybe I'll pick one of those from one of the vlogs I'm doing and just tack that on. Because, I mean, they're my friends. We're acquaintances, some of them, so I can count them as friends, right? And the next book is a book over 400 pages, and that is going to be The Silver A Leaf by Jamie Francis. This is a romantasy that's coming out in May, so it is quite chunky, and yeah, I'm excited for this one. This was one of the books we got to pick at Comic-Con, and I really want to read it, so a little bit chunky. And then we have a special edition, which means I'm just gonna wait to see what are some special editions we're getting in 2025. If I had to choose one that I know I'm definitely getting, It is Language of Dragons. It's coming out in December, but the book, I think, in America comes out in January, but I'm going to show you what the book looks like. Language of Dragons. I am going to get this relatively soon, but I might read it earlier, so I don't know if this will be the one, but this is the one I'm just going to tentatively put on there, but I might just pick one of my pretty special editions and read it, so that is the plan. And then the next one is a book that has chapter titles, which means I'm just gonna wait and see what book has chapter titles. Not a lot of books have chapter titles, so when I'm physically reading it, I'm just going to look to see what book has chapter titles and put it down there. That is a little bit of a harder prompt, I'll be honest. And then we have a book that is a debut author, so I'm going to put The Scorpion Queen by Nina Fears on here. This is another book that comes out in early January, so I want to read it relatively soon. It's uprooted, meets children in blood and bone with this dark fantasy inspired by a Malian fairy tale about a disgraced girl who must serve as princess whose suitors are challenged to gruesome, impossible trials. So it's also super short. It's like not even 300 pages. So that is a debut author, I think. And then I also have a square for mental health rep, which honestly I'm going to wait to read the book and see what kind of fits. A lot of romance books do tend to have that trope in them. And then we have a snake on the cover, which I don't have any recommendations right now. So if you have a book with snakes on the cover that you think I would like, link it below. I also have a book that is self-published, so I'm just going to add the photo of A House of Bane and Blood by Alexis Menard. That is a book that I desperately want to read. I got it in my Secret Santa. A lot of people have been chatting about it and loving it, so I really do want to read it, so that the photo will go here. And then the next book is a new to you author, and this is Medievally Blonde by Kate Jacobs. I know her loosely. I know her from the various comms. She's writing a romantic fantasy coming out this summer. Here is the pretty cover. You have to add this book to your TBR. It's so adorable, and I can't wait to read it. And then I'm also going to add TBR that to my thing, which is going to be Kiss of Deception by Margaret E. Pearson. I really do want to read this book. It's been way too long, and I want to read it. So I'm going to specifically put this book on there, and this book has to get read by 2026, or I'm going to, I don't want to do that. But yeah, here's that photo. Then the last square on this book is read a book for another challenge, which I don't even know. Like, I have so many challenges or readathons that come up in the year, so I'm just going to leave this one blank. So let me know if you can help me with any of the squares I don't have on my TBR, and let's help each other out. And I hope you guys like this video. Thank you so much for 4 Parts and Book for creating another challenge for me to get involved in, and I will talk to you tomorrow for another video.